For 75 years, we have been with you in the fight for life. We have been relentless in our commitment to fund research and to support Canadians touched by cancer. We are the Canadian Cancer Society, and since 1938, we have been the trusted national voice in the fight against all cancers. We help Canadians on a number of fronts, whether it's providing caring support and trusted information, advocating for healthy public policy, educating Canadians about how to reduce their risk of cancer. We are the place to turn to. With these efforts, our goal is to lay a foundation for a future where we will engage Canadians to change cancer forever. The Canadian Cancer Society funds more cancer research on more types of cancer than any other national charity. And we work across the entire cancer control spectrum. From prevention to research to support for people living with cancer to advocacy to end-of-life issues, no other Canadian charity works on all these fronts.
The Canadian Cancer Society is marking its 75th anniversary in 2013. And over those 7 decades, it is hard to overstate the impact we have had in the fight against cancer. Just imagine how cancer has changed. In those early years, only 25% of all cancer patients survive 5 or more years, and now it is over 60%. This year, we want to celebrate what we have accomplished over 75 years, while making clear that we do not want to be here for another 75. Now more than ever, we have the chance to change cancer forever, and that is how we want to celebrate this year. There is almost no one who does not support our work. We are supported by donors, volunteers, staff, researchers, government, medical workers, business and media from every community in Ontario. When someone gives time or donates to the Society or attends a Relay for Life or drives a patient to treatment or wears a daffodil in April, that person is supporting the Canadian Cancer Society.
Isabel Gimbel is a melanoma survivor and long-standing volunteer with the Canadian Cancer Society. The Canadian Cancer Society has been a part of her life for over 55 years, including assisting both her mother and her with their cancer journeys.
I can't say I've feared cancer along the way. I've always had Pam down at the cancer office. She'll do anything for you. I enjoy working with the Cancer Society. I was president for a while, but I really enjoy working with the patients more.
In 2013, approximately 60,000 volunteers across Ontario allow us to have more impact against more cancers in more communities than any other cancer charity. Tiffany Bond is a throat cancer survivor who used cancer.ca to learn more about her cancer, the related treatments, and to find information about support services.
I would go to my doctor's appointments and I would leave with more questions than I really had answers to, and that's where the Canadian Cancer Society came in for me. I would call them, I would research, I would go on to cancer.ca and I would research my type of cancer, different treatments that were available. I really wanted to be an empowered patient. I felt that the more I knew and the more empowered I was, the better chance I had of fighting the fight and winning.
We are the leading source of comprehensive and reliable information about cancer. Since 1996, we have helped answer 1 million inquiries from Canadians, and last year, over 4 million Canadians visited our website. Chris Fearon is a prostate cancer survivor who utilized the Canadian Cancer Society's transportation service. He found the service invaluable, getting him to his appointments so he had less to worry about when dealing with his cancer.
When I had my radiation treatments, I used the volunteer drivers, and they drove me to and from the hospital for my treatments, and it was very, very helpful, and if it hadn't been for them, it would have been very difficult for me to get to the treatments. I am now a volunteer driver, so I'm returning the favor, so to speak, and it's very it's wonderful because you see people that have been through perhaps far worse situations than I had, and I'm able to speak with them and lend a helpful ear, I hope.
We provide support to Canadians facing a cancer diagnosis so that no one faces cancer alone, whether it's through providing transportation, connecting people with others who have been through a similar experience, or offering trusted and reliable information. We are funding life-saving research into all forms of cancer. Today, 60% of Canadians diagnosed with cancer will survive, compared to about 25% in the early 1940s when we started funding research. Dr. David Malkin is a clinician scientist and pediatric oncologist at Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto.
Thanks to the Canadian Cancer Society's investment in world-class research, we are seeing huge progress in the way cancer is diagnosed and treated today. Because of the Society's work, more and more people are surviving cancer now than ever before.
Our programs and services from coast to coast, leading-edge research, and significant public policy achievements have improved and continue to improve the lives of countless Canadians. When Tim Hampson, a thyroid cancer survivor, was dealing with his cancer, he turned to cancerconnection.ca, where he could interact and gain the support of other people who understood his situation.
Friends and family can be 100% supportive going through all this, but sometimes there's questions they can't answer, things they can't know what you're going through, and that's where cancerconnection.ca kind of fits the bill perfectly. Is these people have been there before, they're on this website because they want to talk about their experiences, and you can ask questions to them just like returning all the information that they've learned. So it's been a very powerful tool for me to use. So before I didn't know anything about thyroid cancer, wouldn't be able to help anybody out. Now that I know a lot, I've done a lot of research on through cancer.ca and cancerconnection.ca. I've learned a lot, so it just helps me help other people, like other people help me at the same time. So I want to give back. So.
Nearly 17,000 people across Canada visited the Society's online communities, cancerconnection.ca and parlonscancer.ca, more than 37,000 times. These active and growing communities provide a safe and welcome place for cancer patients and caregivers to share their experiences and build relationships to support them in their cancer journey. About half of all cancers can be prevented through healthy living and policies that protect the health of Canadians. From funding innovative research that will find new ways of preventing cancer and detecting it earlier, to educating people about the importance of getting checked for cancer, we're doing everything we can to prevent cancer from ever happening in the first place. When Kate Neal was diagnosed with melanoma, she wanted to educate other teenagers about the dangers of indoor tanning. She now volunteers with the Canadian Cancer Society.
After talking to many teenagers and going to high schools and trying to find what I would say to them in a sentence has been hard for me, since there's so many things I would say to them. But to sum it up, I would just say no tan is worth dying for. And it's really not.
It will be hard to say it in only a few words, but let's try. Throughout our history, we have funded the best of the best research, fighting against all cancers. We have led changes to public policy. For example, advocating successfully for a province-wide colorectal screening program, Smoke-Free Ontario, and most recently, the bill by the Ontario government to ban tanning for youth under 18. Perhaps most important, we have worked with cancer patients and cancer survivors in so many ways to make the cancer journey just a little easier. First, we know that while we have made extraordinary progress with some cancers, we have not yet solved the riddle of what we call hard-to-treat cancers. those cancers that remain hard to detect and hard to cure. We also know that as our aging population increases, so will cancer. But we can fight that trend by convincing people to live healthier lives. Maintaining a good diet and exercising regularly may seem challenging at times, but it is a lot less painful than surgery, radiation, and chemotherapy.
I'd just like to thank all the support that people give to the Canadian Cancer Society. And just remember the slogan.
The Canadian Cancer Society, for 75 years with you in the fight for life.